everyone. I've really enjoyed it, and there's been some laughs along the way, so that's always nice. Not laughing at you, laughing together. Yeah, I would say I think definitely everyone improved 100%, and you would definitely challenge. There's some really difficult roles there. I would say my overall kind of, from what I've witnessed, is just going with that natural flow of the conversation, and picking up cues, and then if you pick up the cue, sticking with that and going down that path. I know sometimes it's okay to park things for later, but I think certainly when there's kind of dilemmas involved, which is most of the scenarios, kind of addressing them there and then having the rest of that time to keep building rapport and addressing the dilemma and coming up with alternative solutions, I think gives a better, well-rounded consultation, and leaves you, the examiner, the patient at the end going, yeah, we've addressed that, we know what's happening, we know where we're all leaving from. So I think most of you did that, and it was only a couple of bits here and there, but I think just keeping with that natural flow of the conversation, picking up on things and addressing things, and that will just keep it very naturalistic whilst being professional as well. But yeah, I thought you all did really well, and it was really enjoyable to watch. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jess. Over to Shane. What did you think, Shane?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely there has been real progression as the afternoon went on, and I think in terms of listening really was the key thing that I think improved as the afternoon went on. Actively listening, and using the answer to the last question to try and formulate the next, and that's what I always talk about, having a conversation, having a dialogue rather than it feeling like a monologue. The weird thing about this is, you know, it is your agenda to some degree because it's your exam, but it mustn't feel like that. It can't feel like it's all on your agenda, because then it feels like I'm not being listened to, and it might not be what you want to put across, but it can feel like that very, very quickly. And some of the areas that I think it's just, Nigel already said, I'm not going to over egg the pudding, but language is really key, and it's not what you say and how you say it. And I think that those were the key points in the afternoon, where I think there's some learning to go ahead and just think about, just to have even the odd phrase up your sleeve that you can use in difficult conversations that you might come across, or in conversations that might be those phrases really, that you have a handful of them that might work. Don't just throw them in willy-nilly, but if they work, then you have them to hand. Dealing with what's in front of you is key, and acknowledging is key. I think that whole idea of AEE is great, but you can't get to the empathy and the expectations if you don't acknowledge in the first instance. And that happened quite a lot. So I think acknowledgement really this afternoon was the thing that needs to be worked on. And it's so powerful. Just saying, I can see that's really difficult. From a doctor, I mean, you don't get it because you're all doctors, right? But, from somebody who's not medically trained, oh, you've heard me, I'm not wasting your time being here, whatever it may be, because I don't know anything about the human body. I haven't done all of the studying that you've done. Do you know what I mean? So it's about that acknowledgement, which is really, really key. And just actively listening for those hooks, because, there'll be a lot of information that we can give you, but there'll also be equally a lot of information that we can only give you if you specifically ask. And that's when we can give those hooks. We can give that information. Is it chest pain? Oh, it's not pain. What's the inference of the next question would be, oh, what do you mean by that? So but you can only do that if you're present in the conversation. And quite a few times this afternoon, there was a lot of thinking of the next question rather than being present in the here and now. And if you do that, you miss out so much. And I know that's really easy for me to say, because I don't have a 10-minute timer in my head thinking, oh my gosh, where am I going? But I think, that's the key, is about finding that pace, being true to yourself. And I think a lot of the time this afternoon was just about, when it really worked was when you started to trust your own instincts. Yeah. You don't allow people to kind of bulldozer you. Don't allow kind of the reaction of the SP to kind of make you lose confidence, because remember, we're all being told how to be for you, and it'll be the same for the next 11 people that come in. So, don't put all of that, don't take it personally. I think it's the key.
The cue is the king. It is a standardized exam. How this actor is reacting to you, in terms of emotions. This is the test. This is the challenge. A round of applause for Shane, please. Thank you so much.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much, Shane. We will let you go. Okay, great. So we are going to start thinking about our take-home messages.